welcome back to my post gym workout thoughts. You guys know pep talk if you feel like it's very helpful, and I hope it is. I just wrapped up my little cardio sesh at Alphaland. Today is more of like an active workout day, whereas yesterday I did legs. Today I like to just go through the motion, do some active movements, progressing your body the right way. And I guess that's kind of the tip for today, and a reminder for us all that too much, right? Doing a lot isn't necessarily going to get you there quicker, okay? You can overtrain very quickly if you're not mindful of taking time to truly rest, repair, rebuild your muscles, right? Because when you're in the gym and you're moving and you're lifting and you're pushing, you're tearing those muscle fibers, okay? Remember that. You're tearing into that muscle tissue. So in order for it to build into something beautiful, magnificent, you have to allow your body to truly rest, repair, recuperate. And you do that by doing two things, okay? Number one, the obvious is rest, okay? Rest your goddamn body. Stop pushing it so much because you think it's gonna get you there quicker. It is not, my friend. It is gonna hold you back, and I promise you it's gonna make that end goal that you're after with your fitness and your body much harder to gravitate to, and you're gonna get fucking frustrated. Okay, I see this so much. I've seen it over the years, even with my own clients, right? They get so excited in the beginning. They're ready to just lose weight and gain muscle and do all the things, and they go, and then they hit this moment because they're not relaxing. They're not giving their body time to rest. They're just moving. They get frustrated because they don't see the results they want to. Okay, and they're putting in the time. They're seeing that, wow, I'm putting in so much time into doing all the things, but I'm not reaping any reward yet. Well, number one, it takes patience, obviously. But number two, honey, if you keep pushing your body to that maximum capacity, you are going to overtrain, and oftentimes you are going to injure yourself, right? And or your immune system is going to go down so much that you're going to be out Cub Scout, and then you're going to have to start that shit over again. Okay, so that's not what we want here. Okay, so for those of you in general who are really into their fitness and you find maybe you've hit a plateau, think about taking an active day or a rest day in between more often. However, and a lot of you who have been in the fitness world for a while, hopefully by now you kind of know how your body works. But again, it's a reminder for us all, right? Nobody's perfect. Sometimes you get going and you're rocking and rolling and you are just so pumped to keep it moving. We all need a reminder to rest and do some active movement as opposed to tearing the muscle every single goddamn day. But for those of you who are new to the game or just getting back into working out after being MIA for so long, like my goddamn self, then be mindful of not diving deep so far and so quick into your workouts, and space them out, if you will. Okay, for instance, I love to do and start with an easy, I'm not gonna say easy, start with a good, simple foundation, meaning I go to the gym in the beginning when I'm getting back on track 3 to 4 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week. I know that's like, what? I thought you go to the gym all the time. No, honey. Not when I'm getting back on track. Okay? So for instance, I like to give my body a day or two in between to repair. In this case, I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday or Saturday, I'll come in and just do active movements. Yesterday, I went in, did my working set, came today to do active movement and mobility, right? I'm not coming in back to back, pushing my body hardcore, not yet, because I'm not at that point with my body yet, okay? So I'm working out, I'm resting or active rest day, I'm working out, active rest day, working out, active rest day, or just a rest day in general. I say active because you're just moving, right? Active rest days can be you just going for a walk. Okay, and those are healthy. Those are good for your body because you're getting that blood flowing, which also helps that muscle to heal a little bit quicker. And then you're actually taking time to not do too much push pull during that active rest day. Okay, stretching, that is very underrated for a lot of people. You don't really take into account how beneficial like flexibility and taking the time to do so is until you fucking do it. Because when you try to touch your toes and bend over and do all these different things, you will quickly realize how tight your hip flexors are, your hamstrings are, your hips are. So take the time to also stretch. I'm adding this into the rest, okay? So rest days, take time to not do much, just a little bit of movement to get that blood flowing, right? To not allow those muscles to be too tight. And then stretch, elongate that muscle. Let the lactic acid flush out. Again, we don't want to overtrain the muscle, right? We want to allow it to repair and rebuild. So be mindful of that, because you can take a big like hindrance on not only your body when we overtrain, but our mental state too, right? It's going to become very frustrating, and your hormones can go a little wackadoo, and it just, your cortisol level raises when you overtrain, and it's going to make it that much more difficult to grab a hold of those fitness goals you are after. So be mindful of that, okay? The second part of the puzzle, so the first one was rest, okay, to not overtrain, make sure you are resting. And number two, make sure that you are feeding and fueling your body with proper nutrition, and take into account how much protein you are getting in your day. This, I know in the fitness world, is very like, it's not like you haven't heard this before. Okay, it's not like you haven't heard this before. However, it is a good reminder again for all of us to take a moment and to keep track and mindful of how much protein we're actually consuming. Because oftentimes it may not be enough for your goals, right? Because I find that a lot of people tend to, they don't have a problem grabbing the carbohydrates and the fatty foods, right? Now, those are necessary as well. Do not cut those too low or out. Don't ever do that, because you need them. Carbohydrates, you need to fuel for energy, your brain, it's needed. Okay, fat is good. It helps lubricate the organs, keeps everything functioning properly, especially for us ladies. You need that, okay? But protein is the building foundation, the building block of your muscle, honey. And it has a lot of other benefits as well, but we're talking about fitness, so let's keep it simple. Okay, so be mindful of how much protein you're consuming in a day. Okay, a good rule of thumb for this, if you have no idea where to fucking start, one, I have a blog post on it, so you can go check that out on my website at shannonmurrayireland.com. Link it down below. Again, check out that, and I'll show you how to break down your macros, because I find that to be super helpful, especially in the beginning, if you have no idea what the fuck you are doing. Okay, I always tell you, once it becomes a second habit, a second nature, you don't need to count and do all the fucking things for the rest of your life. But in the beginning, it's helpful, okay? It's super helpful. And again, that is on my blog. However, to start, a good rule of thumb is by the body weight that you are or that you are after, okay? Take that 1 gram per pound of body weight for your protein. For example, if you are 120 pounds, you would roughly have about 120 grams of protein. Again, this is going to decipher if, you know, if you're trying to lose or gain, but that's a good rule of thumb. That's a good place to start. And then from there, either talk to a professional, again, go on my blog, or just be mindful of how much you're getting and adjust as you progress. Adjust as needed. You'll see this with a lot of competitors. Not that you're trying to be a competitor, but I'm just, for an example, right, as they're putting on more lean muscle, you see them adjust their macros. Okay, or you'll see somebody who's overweight losing weight over time. You know, after so many weeks, you will adjust your macros until you get to a point where you're at maintenance. Okay, and oftentimes you'll hit maintenance. You could stick to that for a while because you know at that point where your body is, how you like it, and you could tweak it from there. And then you can just kind of, you know, eye everything and figure out, okay, this works for me. I like this. I want to stay in this place for a while, and that'll work for you. But nonetheless, having adequate protein will help your muscles repair, rebuild, and get all of the benefits you need in this process of losing weight or building muscle or both. Okay, so those are the biggest things when you are training your body. It is very important to take those two things into consideration. Okay, because you don't want to overtrain. You're working out, you're doing the right thing, but make sure you're resting that fucking hot body of yours. Make sure you're resting that shit, okay? And then in that rest phase, you're actively moving, okay? And you're also stretching your body. This is a reminder to stretch those beautiful fucking muscles, because you don't want to tear, injure. Think about just beautiful elongation, striation. Take the time, take 5 fucking minutes. And I do this sometimes in the morning if I'm in a fucking rush, okay? Go on YouTube, type in 5-minute full body stretch, and this girl, I can't remember her name, but she will pop up. And you do that, okay? Do it. You can do it in the morning, midday, right before you go to bed. I don't give a flying fuck when you do it. Just fucking do it, okay? All right, honey. So that, and then the other part of the puzzle was protein. Again, if you need help for that, number one, you can go just Google the goddamn thing. But I do have a blog post on how to break down your macros, and it's super fucking simple. I have my CNC. I worked at DexaFit, and I had to do a lot of RMRs and break down macros for people. And I took all of that knowledge that I used and tried to break it down in simple terms on how to figure out your motherfucking macros. So go to the link in my bio at my blog, and I'll have a post called how to, I believe it's like easy ways to calculate your macros, something along those lines. I'm here to help you guys. Nonetheless, I love you guys. Go check out everything. I will link it down below. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed, because I love you and you love me too. And here you can find all the fit tips that you need. I love you. You guys have a beautiful day. And until the next post-workout gym thoughts.